Hi, this is Evan from Digital Team Coach. Today I was running a workshop and the workshop was called Assessing and Enhancing the Digital Experience. When I approach this topic and anything around online interaction, online engagement, I have come up with a framework which I find helpful for the different audiences that we need to reach and to empower. Let me show you. So I call this framework the digital realms of influence. And on the left-hand side, we have you as the church leader or one of the church leaders. And I think about how I look after myself as a church leader. And then the next realm is my team. How do I serve the team? How do I communicate? How do I collaborate well with the team? With that, I'm thinking about how we invest in the team, the tools that we use to invest in them, training that's required, and how to build up their leadership and their capability. For the team, I'm talking about staff members, talking about key volunteers, lay volunteers, and church board or your eldership or your parish council, those main people who you seek to influence and work closely with. Jesus had his 12 disciples, and within that he had Peter and James and John as the people who he invested his time mostly with. The next sphere of influence is your church, your main members, your main church community, the people who make up the variety of the body of Christ in your church. And we want to be empowering them to use their gifts to serve one another, to care for each other well, and to share the load of what we do as well, and to raising them up into leaders and into your team with the right people there too. So we want to be empowering them. And then the final realm of influence is the world. I'm thinking about the wider community, your local community, the people who are sort of, on the fringes. Maybe they're connected in through external programs like a play group or a course that you're running. The friends of friends, whoever it is in your community who reach out beyond your immediate church circle. So I find this framework really helpful when I'm thinking about social media, when I'm thinking about the systems that are required. What systems do we need to support your team, your church, and the systems you need to reach the world? I use this framework when I'm thinking about what's working well and what we need to do to improve our communication and collaboration with each other. So on this workshop today, I had two main questions. I asked, in terms of the digital experience, what is the ultimate aim and goal that we have for each of these realms of influence? Yourself, your team, your church, and your world. What do we want as the core experience in the digital realm for each of those groups? So for example, for me, it might be that I want this to be a sustainable ministry and I don't want to be burning out. So how do I do that well as my digital experience? For my team, it might be that they can really enjoy the process, that they're not burdened with it either, that we can make it easy for them, and that they can really run with it and use their gifting well. So you go through that, ask that question, what's the ideal experience that you want for each of those groups? And then the following question is, what is the gap at the moment for each of those groups in reaching what your aim or your ideal is for them? So for example, for yourself, if you are wanting to ease the load, you want it to be sustainable, but you've got a gap there and a challenge that you are not working in a sustainable way, that you are overloaded, too busy, then what do we need to do to help bridge that gap and make that digital experience better for you. And so then you ask that question for each of the realms of influence as well. So feel free to take this framework and adapt it to suit your purpose and to help you with answering the questions that you have for your online engagement with people, and the tools and systems that you use, and the way that you help to serve your church and your community wider. I hope this is helpful for you. Please let me know what you do with this and how you approach your digital engagement and the experience that it is for people. Bless you, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.